Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I wanted to talk about the three oils, Argan, Barberry Fig and Squalane from the olives. It seems to me like there's always a contender for the new miracle oil, and I just wanted to compare the three. To begin with, I'll start with a little bit of science about skin. So people have different skin types, and certain experts don't believe in skin types and things like that. But when you compare people who suffer from acne, there's been a number of studies done, and the general consensus is that acne prone skin tends to be the oily skin, and it produces quite a significantly larger amount of sebum than any other skin type. And although no one really knows why it produces that amount of sebum, it's considered to be one of the a correlation is quite strong, so it's considered to be one of the reasons why people get spots, the overproduction of sebum. I don't know how many studies have been done comparing the sebum composition between people who have acne and the ones they don't, but I have come across two which I will sort of quote later on in terms of making a comparison between the three oils that I'm talking about. I'll start with argan oil. So many people would probably know about this already. It's not all argan oil is equal, and the major thing that it's being quoted for why it's not is something we call the growth factor. See this wonderful creature, aka goat? Well, they really like the fruit that the argan nuts are surrounded in, and the size is quite small. Like the argan nuts themselves are like about the size of an almond. So the goats eat the fruit, and then they don't really digest the core of it, so the nuts are left kind of discarded but sort of partially digested. People don't really eat the fruit, they eat the nut themselves, and what normally happens is they sun dry the fruit, then they discard the skin to get to the nut itself. And the person that dislikes wasting me thinks it's quite clever, go to enjoy the fruit, kind of make it much easier for people to access the nut, and then there's a no waste sort of situation. But the reality is, once the argan fruit has been processed, and the nut gets partially digested, the oil produced from that nut is just has a weird sour smell to it. It's just really not something that you'd want to use on your skin. Yes, it does make it significantly easier to access the nuts themselves, but it's not a great thing to use it. And Barberry Fig oil comes from the seeds of a cacti, and it can come from different places. It can be from Mexico, Tunisia, Greece, amongst others, and I think it's been called different things like prickly pear as well. I think it differs depending on what the originating country is, what the locals call it. The last oil that I wanted to talk about was the Squalane. Squalane can come from two places. It can come from sharks and from olives. obviously I would never use an oil that comes from sharks. The one that comes from olives is from the pips of the olives themselves. That's how the olive oil is made, and squalane is naturally present in the extra virgin olive oil, and once the olive oil gets refined, the squalane part is removed, and that's what where the squalane olive from olives comes from. I do have all of the 3 oils, and I have used all of them, and like with the start with the argan oil, I have Kahina, and I've got the Wilwood grows argan with mimosa, and these are the 2 that I've actually really liked. And I've tried a few argan oils in the past and it didn't really quite work for me, and I think I sort of know why. So going back to the scientific studies of sebum that I was talking about, my skin, I'd guess you'd consider it like acne prone skin, even though I haven't had like a proper breakout or spots in a while. I still am quite prone to blackheads around my T-zone and like here on the cheekbone part that's close to the eyes, and blackheads are technically acne, so even though visually I don't think that my skin looks bad or anything like that, it's still has blackheads, which is part of acne. So might not be like a severe acne, but it's still present. And one of the studies noticed that acne prone skin or has like a reduced amount of linoleic acid, which is which one is it? It's like in comparison to the non-acneic skin, which is omega-6, so, and it's quite high in oleic acid. Each sort of fruit and nut oil has its own different compositions of oleic, linoleic, linolenic. There's like different types of fatty acids that make up an oil with different levels, and argan oil has a composition of between 42 and 48% oleic acid and between 30 and 38 linoleic. So for my skin type, an oil with higher content linoleic acid would probably be better, but because it varies, like without actually testing your argan oil, you can't really know whether or not it's going to be more balanced, you know, like with kind of 38 linoleic and 42 oleic, or if it's going to be, you know, the lower percentage. So sometimes you can find that you get a boil of argan oil and it works perfectly fine, wonderfully for your skin, and another time it wouldn't. So it's just kind of a little bit of a luck of the draw, and also depends on where your skin is at what your stage is, because as we grow older and get hormonal changes, our own sebum, I believe, the composition of a sebum would vary a little bit, hence you being a little more oilier during your puberty, and like just for some people, after it settles down, they kind of get normal skin and they don't get breakouts anymore. Other people like myself probably never quite get there. Yeah, again, no one really knows what the cause is. It's just the certain things that become a contributing factor. Barberry Fig, on the other hand, I've got like quite a collection here from the Bella Figura. These are all like sample bottles, but altogether I have about 15 milliliters, which makes a pretty decent sized bottle. Barbary Fig, on the other hand, has like about 63% linoleic acid, which makes it a pretty good contender for someone with a skin type such as myself, and you kind of, even when you start using it, you can almost see like your pores don't really change for size, but you kind of see that your skin is getting a little bit smoother. It's like almost becoming less visible, so to speak. It's probably just because like it's not as blocked with sebum. Obviously this theory might not work for everyone, but it's a good starting point if you've not noticed like desired effects with oils. Just have a look at the fatty acids. Obviously there's different these omega-6 and omega-9 are not the only fatty acids present in part of oil, so you do need to look at other factors, but it's a starting point, something to experiment with. So the last thing that this brings me to the Squalane facial oil in Lee. Again, this is all of these oils. I kind of said that they're brilliant for every skin type, and like I think certain blends can be suitable for all skin types, but it'll be definitely more or less beneficial for certain people. What's great about the Squalane, apparently, as we get older, it's one of the things that it becomes less present in our sebum, and it just kind of helps with making your skin look plumper and stuff. But one of the studies that I was referring to at the beginning noticed that people with acne prone skin has quite a significantly higher level of squalane present in their sebum, so like almost twice as much as people that don't get spots, which to me says that actually if you're breaking out this oil, it's probably not the best thing for you to use. It could be a contributing factor. So I found that it doesn't, although the initial first 3 or 4 days my skin felt really smooth and wonderful, it's not something that I could use long term, which is why this bottle was almost untouched. Probably use it up as a body oil. It doesn't make it a bad oil, it's just not something that's suitable for me personally. Obviously the study was done on a small group of people, even with a control group, so I don't know how many studies would have been done to like follow it up. So if you're a brand owner, or you know, someone who really believes in their product, it's quite easy to dismiss something like that. But going on my own personal experience, again, study of one, it kind of, that theory kind of made sense for me, made sense for my skin. Like I said, for since I started taking more notice of the composition of these oils and choosing the blends based on that, my skin has looked a lot better and much more improved. Like I don't really break out anymore, so it's worth considering when you make a new choice. So what I'm trying to say is, although each one of these oils are multi-purpose and can be used on like your face, your body, your hair, it's not necessarily multi-purpose for every single person. Take a look at what your skin concerns are and then choose accordingly. I would say if you have like an acne prone skin, Barberry Fig is probably the one to go for. It's got quite a high, if not the highest content of vitamin E, which will help a long way if you have any acne scarring, as well as keeping your skin a little bit more balanced in terms of linoleic acid. If your skin is a bit more normal, or if it's winter and you feel like that your skin is kind of less oily, argan oil is a great option to go for. I really like Kahina and the Wilwood Groves oil, both are fabulous. And if your skin is a bit more dry and mature, I'd say like kind of approaching 30s or in your 30s, the Squalane by Lee is a perfect option. But if you're still getting breakouts even in your 30s, then probably might be not the best choice. And another thing to consider, that the fatty acids do vary between batches. It's just something that happens with natural products, you know, like not all peaches taste the same. There's nothing much that can be done about it apart from testing each single bottle, which is not very practical. So general rule of thumb, choose your concern and then look at what's the lowest possible amount of that particular fatty acid is in there. And it's like, because then if you aim for the lowest factor, then you'll know would it be suitable for your skin. So what I'm trying to say is, people may be saying to you that this oil is a miracle one, this oil is a miracle one. The one that works depends on your own personal sebum composition, which can be sort of guesstimated by whether or not your skin is very oily, whether or not you're prone to breakout. Have a look at that and to try making that as your starting point. Okay, so I hope this video was helpful to you guys, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in my next one.